too as soon as it goes. So if anybody is on YouTube and sees us, we're still getting our technical stuff together. Let's see. So annoying. Come on, work right. This is really important that it works right. Come on. Let's see. Instagram. It's letting us do Instagram. Hello, hello. Why is this one not working? Come on. I've connected it. I'm going to try it again really quick on here and see if this works. Hold on. Can you still see me or did it pop off?
Mhm. I can still see you.
All right, let me go back down here. That one is not working. Okay, so she sees me on my business page. Let's see if I can get to the... Why is it not working? All right, Ashley, I'm trying. Hello, everyone. Of course, we're having technical problems right now. I am going to edit this. I'm going to add this and see if I can do it this way. This might work. Real stories. And I can't spell anything, Chelsea, when I'm on.
I can't spell anything to begin with.
Yeah, I can't spell when I'm on. Okay, I've got the stream key. Let's see if this works, Ashley. Add the channel. We are live. Let's see. Save it. Okay, let's see if that works. Hello, everyone. And I see there's a couple of you guys on YouTube. I can't see who is watching on Facebook, but we're going to try to make this work. If not, we'll just do it on Instagram and YouTube. How about that? Because I'm not seeing it pop up. I don't know what I did wrong. We definitely have to get that figured out before Fearless Birth. So I'm going to pull it up on my Instagram so I can see who is watching. Let's go. Labor Nurse Mama. Well, we are live on.
Not seeing it pop up.
Yeah, there's my voice. Okay. That way I can watch comments. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Today I have a sweet mom with me from my community. She is one of our most precious students inside of Calm Labor Confident Birth and inside of Calm Mama Society, our membership. Hello, Chelsea.
Hi, Trish.
I'm so happy to have you here. And what's really awesome, you guys, me and Chelsea got to meet in person. How often do you guys hear of people who buy an online course telling the instructor that they're going to be in town and spending part of their vacation with them? We spent a couple hours.
Yeah, I think it was at least 2.
And I got to hold the baby.
Yes.
The whole time, which I
loved
love.
it.
Oh my God, I loved every second. That's what I used for our cover image was me and her because, and you're in it too, but mostly me and her. Okay, so this is Chelsea. Why don't you tell everybody like how many babies, what number pregnancy, like how you found us, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm Chelsea. This was my first pregnancy. Well, second pregnancy, first birth. I honestly don't even know how I found you. It was like magical. I got an email the Sunday before November 23 FBE class.
Nice.
Hey, you have a live class starting tomorrow. Like, okay, I guess we're taking this class.
Nice.
I jumped on and we fell in love with
history.
Yeah. By Wednesday, I turned over to Cameron. I'm like, we need to get this birth course. Like, this is just changing my view on everything and changing how I felt in just 3 days that I needed the whole course.
You know what's so funny is that I say that in my ad copy and my posts, like, I promise if you come to Fearless Birth that I will change how you view your birth.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee that one.
Yeah.
What you do with it is in your hands at that point. And it's so funny because yesterday I had Cassandra on and she said the same thing. By Wednesday, she was like, I'm in, I'm done.
Yeah.
This, that. I love it so much. So tell me, what were you feeling prior to that about your birth?
Well, I was really nervous because my first pregnancy was in November of 2022. We found out that we had a molar pregnancy,
Mm,
and it was very hard because we were really excited for our first pregnancy. Kimber and I have been together for 13 years. So when we're now excited to start having
yeah.
kids, we have our careers, like,
Y'all waited a while.
yeah. And we were really excited, and it turned out to not be as an exciting time.
Yeah.
Well, getting pregnant again was very nerve-wracking, and I was really scared. I was scared to go into having the pregnancy and scared to go into delivery. I mean, you hear horror stories from everybody
Yeah.
that, oh my
That was
gosh,
my
it hurts so
real
bad. And
yeah,
yeah,
that was my real yesterday. I'm like, why do women always feel like they have to tell you their birth horror story? Like, come on, people.
yeah, yeah. So I wanted to change that. I changed my mindset and really focus on being happy and excited for the pregnancy and then in for labor and
Yeah.
delivery.
Yeah, because it's such a special event.
Mhm.
It's a once in a lifetime event. You and that baby. One
Yes.
time. That's it. That's all that it can do. Someone is saying they don't have sound on Instagram. That could be a problem. That I'm not sure. Let me ask Ashley. Ashley, can you go to Instagram and just tell me if you hear us? Hmm. I wonder why there's no sound. Weird. Let me ask, anyone else not have sound? Oh, interesting. Let me see. Kayla said she didn't either. So Jenny's saying she does. Maybe, yeah, close out and come back in because you guys want to hear this birth stories. Oh, I love birth stories. I still am such a sucker for birth stories. It's not even funny. I love them. Okay, so you come into this, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and I know what that's like. That fear is unreal. I can still remember because I had 3 losses before Grayson, and I remember dreading going to the bathroom because I was so afraid I was gonna see that pink spot on the toilet
Mhm.
paper. Um, yeah, so I'm so excited to have you here because you are literally like it's so funny, those of you guys who signed up to come on to do lives with me, not all of you guys had this perfect birth experience and everything went amazing, but you guys are all like my perfect students that I manifested. Like I pray over you guys and I'm like, this is who I want to work with. And I feel like we have such a common ground inside of the
Mhm.
community. And what I love about all of you guys is that you're all willing to say, you know what? I'm going to speak up. I'm going to create boundaries. I'm going to say what I want and here's why. And that's one thing I love. And not just in birth because I still remember when we were talking about just boundaries in life
Mhm.
and had such a great experience in that. Um so tell everyone when you started the classes, what would you say for the class side of it? What stood out the most to you and like what was the most impactful class-wise, not community? We'll
Okay.
get there. Yeah.
So, like I said, I started in November of 22, so I was about 20 weeks.
2023.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so I started when I was about 20, 21 weeks with the classes.
Which I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And um, I mean, my husband and I sat down every night and watched the classes. So we took one course or one
Module.
per
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
and just sat down and focused on that module, that section. And I think the biggest thing that stood out to me in the classes is like we also got the positioning class too. So
Yeah.
in particular, like the positioning and like how to change your mindset and change how you're thinking about going into labor really helped me not only in my delivery but also in my life. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, go to therapy, I learn these breathing techniques and I learn all this other kind of stuff to help me with my anxiety, but like actually listening to the classes and how they relate medically too really helped kind of solidify that in my everyday life.
Yeah. I love that you said that because that is so important to me. And even on our team meeting, I was just telling them, I don't know if you've ever heard of like EMDR, EFT,
Mhm.
or tapping. I'm thinking about getting certified in tapping because I'm the same way. I feel like what I teach you guys mindset wise inside the classes can be taken to every aspect of your journey. And we have a choice what we think. And
Mhm.
when you can change your thoughts, you can change everything. Everything.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that you said that because that means yes, that is what I want. I want it to be. I know that's a gifting that God's given me is to be able to help people change their mindset, and I do that in my coaching and I do that in my birth stuff. And that was part of why I created Labor Nurse Mama because at bedside it's too late.
Mhm.
So I love that. So tell me about the community. How has that impacted your life?
Oh, I love the community. That's I honestly the best part of everything. Like
All the work I did on those courses.
uh, the other day I said in our community group chat that because I upgraded to the year membership and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I wish Trish just had like a lifetime membership and I'd sign up for it.
I need to do it. I love that so much. And is it a rumor that you're supposed to be doing a worm video, like dancing the worm?
I was not planning on doing that for the video.
I literally
Um,
almost okay, for you guys watching this and listening, we have the most unhinged buck wild community in the world. For $19 a month, or like Chelsea did, you can do it for $197 for the year and get 2 months free. But the conversations inside of this community are unlike anything I've ever seen, and that is not my doing. That is my community manager who is on here as well. So last night, I lay down in bed, and I always check I have times that I check the labor bat signal unless I know something crazy is going on. So last night, I'm like, "I need to get in the community." I just happened to scroll back because I wanted to see some of the suggestions for podcasts, and I was like, "What is Ashley doing?" And it was the video of Ashley, our community manager, who has I'm Ashley, how old is Tucker? He was born in May, June, July, August. Wow, he's 4 months? How in the world? Anyway, she's got a 4-month-old, so we all know she has breastfeeding boobies, and she is on the ground doing the worm on video, and then I see all these dancing videos. I was like, "What is happening in here?" I love it so much. Jenny's laughing. She said the worm. It's so funny. You guys, if you are not in Call Mama Society, you are missing out. Period. Missing out because it
yes.
is so much fun. So tell me like a couple ways that the community has impacted you as a wife, as a woman, as a mama.
Yeah, I mean, we share everything from breastfeeding to relationship advice to we were talking about gardens the one day and I had no idea how my tomatoes replanted themselves in my garden. But like we talk about everything. We talk about life. And it's nice having that constant ability to just reach out and have somebody else be able to answer.
Yeah.
Somebody say, "Oh, I went through that too." Like yesterday we were talking about phantom cries. Phantom cries and while you're in the shower are horrible. And I have some other friends that had babies recently, and they said they didn't hear phantom cries at all when they were in the shower. So I thought I was just crazy. But
Yeah.
yesterday, somebody brought it up. Everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, I hear that too." And I'm like, okay, well, that makes me feel better because I'm not alone in this. And I have other people that are going through exactly what I'm going through.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, both times I've done these lives this week, Liz and Cassandra, I I it's so hard to put into words where someone who has not been in postpartum can understand. So for my pregnant moms, The postpartum side of our membership is literally golden, and not just for you guys. Like, I have healed so many inner wounds from my own postpartum journey. He's 9, and I have healed so many wounds that I didn't even know were still open. And it's been life-changing for me. Like, permission to be like, all this time, like, I didn't even realize some of the ways that I was judging myself harshly as a mom. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, like, I've been able to give myself grace through you guys." And I'm a labor and delivery nurse, like, I prep y'all and I pass you to postpartum, I'm 2 hours max, get out of here, I don't wanna deal with that, like, I like birth, and so to be able to spend I don't know anyone else who spends as much postpartum time together as our group does.
Mhm.
It's amazing. The
Yeah, I mean,
breastfeeding.
even, like, in my hometown here, like, there's no, like, groups or anything, like, in person that we can go to
Yeah.
about this kind of stuff.
Well, and they're surface level when they are.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's rules and there's boundaries, and
Yep.
then you might meet together once a month, and are you really gonna be like, "Wow, I really struggled with throwing my baby out the window." No. When you like, I don't know this person, there's a safety in the virtual side. I'm not saying that
Mhm.
anybody said they were gonna throw their baby out the window, I'm just saying, you do have crazy thoughts like that when you're
Yeah.
sleep deprived. But in person, it would be really scary to admit some of the thoughts we have as new moms and
Yes.
seasoned moms. So I feel like and I was saying this to Cassandra yesterday, when my friends were having babies, we all had babies. We didn't have
Mhm.
time for a deep conversation. But inside the community, you can do that at 1 a.m., you can do that at 10 a.m. because you're sitting there breastfeeding or you're sitting on the couch. And it really, like, even for me, like, I work virtually, so I've got 2 businesses I'm running from home, so I don't get out of the house as much as I probably should. But you guys are my community too. And I know Ashley's and Allison's, and we were Lene's. But, so I love that. And if anybody's watching this later or now, I want you to hear me when I say I know my classes are the best, bar none. I will 100% stand on that. They're not the normal, they're a little unique, but you can do the classes and have a great birth, see and be on the way, never connect with us. But if you take the time, this is why we give 30 days free so they can just get a taste of it, because otherwise they may not take the time, because it's very unexplainable
Mhm.
how to explain what's happening if you do invest your time in it.
Yeah.
So I know we're probably we're only 18 minutes in. I'm trying to keep this under 30 minutes. So tell us about your experience with the labor bat signal.
Oh, that was so helpful. I mean, I didn't feel any kind of Braxton Hicks. I didn't feel any kind of contractions until my water broke at home. So I didn't really know what was going on. And it was nice going into that labor bat signal and be like, what's going on? What can I do here?
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean, it was helpful. It
so
was,
did you freak out and rush to the hospital?
no, of
What'd you
course.
do? What were you guided to do?
So what I did was I called my doctor because we only live 5 minutes away from the hospital that I birthed at. So we called, let them know, like, hey, my water broke. I'm planning on laboring at home as long as possible, and we'll be in when we be in. So,
That's one of my girls right there.
and after that, we were trying to do like walking around, moving, different positions here at the house. And then I didn't want to go to the hospital with greasy hair. So I got a shower and washed my hair, washed my
I
body.
actually remember talking about this in your labor bat signal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And while I was in the shower, my contractions started going from probably about 8 to 10 minutes apart to about 3 to 5 minutes apart from the shower. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is actually happening.
I am going to birth a human.
Yeah. This was probably when I got a shower, it was probably 3 or 4 hours into me laboring at home. So when I got out of the shower, my contractions did not slow down. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to go into the hospital now because now they're 2 to 3 minutes apart. And so we went in when they were about 2 minutes apart from each other. We get into the hospital and they took me up to labor and delivery, did my examination, everything. And I was only 3 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, what the heck? I could have sworn I was way further along than this because my contractions were coming so fast.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to preface this with she was not in the correct position
Yeah. Which is always the case.
at all.
Always the case.
Yes. So my plan going in was to be completely unmedicated, and the doctors knew that and respected that. And that's what I did. I walked around the room. We did some hydrotherapy in the birthing room. We didn't have
positioning.
we didn't have like a tub or anything, but I did with the shower and toilet sits, all that kind of fun stuff. And then with being unmedicated, they wanted me to monitor like the heartbeat and stuff every so often. So I did that. And probably about like 10 hours in, she checked again and I was still at 3 centimeters dilated.
Oh my God. I have to tell you my 3 centimeter story. You've probably heard it, but it's funny. Keep going. Yeah.
So during those 10 hours, I started having really bad back labor, and I wish that on nobody.
No, my little pumpkin, that's the same with Lainey. It's like Lainey tells me she did not want to look at my butt coming out. That's why.
Yes. So it took everything out of me because, I mean, we were up.
It's no joke.
I think I had like 2 hours of sleep the night before because I woke up. That's when my water broke. And
well, and back labor is just the same with Ashley because she had that horrible hip pain. And I told her, I was like, we're not meant to deal with the bone pain during labor.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, I could deal with the contractions in the front. Like, I was able to breathe through those. But as soon as they went into my back, that's when I'm like, oh my gosh.
Which you know what it is. That's when she really like settled in. That
Yeah.
happened to me with Lainey too.
Yeah. So when they checked, I was still only 3 centimeters. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Like, I have been in labor for now 12 hours and nothing progressed.
I'm sure we were telling you it was malposition. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I was doing a whole bunch. I was doing the yoga ball. I had a peanut ball. I was doing different positions. And like, it was not. Like,
sometimes the epidural in a case like that allows you to relax and get in the right position for them to turn their heads.
Yes. Well, it wasn't her head that was turned. It was her arm.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Up on her head, up on her face.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't getting there yet, but okay.
So the doctor came in. She's like, I know you want to do unmedicated, but here are your options. You are still, I think I progressed like 0.5 centimeter.
Yeah.
So it's not very much. She's like, here are your options. We can keep going the way you're going, but I don't think your body's able to relax and be able to get to where we need to get to push your baby out.
Yeah.
So I asked her if my husband and I could talk about it. She left the room. Cameron and I talked about it. He looked at me and basically said, you are so exhausted. If you were to try to push her out right now, I don't know. I think they would probably try to take you back for a C-section. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. They wanted to push Pitocin, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to deal with Pitocin on top of this terrible back labor already. So I decided to get the epidural. And that was a complete like 360 in my labor because I was able to relax. I was a completely different person. And I did labor for another 10 hours, but that's also because she was malpositioned. So it was a little bit to get down to where she needed to.
Let's just all also acknowledge that a day or two in labor for first baby can also be very normal.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
When it starts with your water breaking, it just feels different.
Yes. And that's what I think kind of kickstarted everything for
Yeah.
me to be like, oh my gosh, this is different than what I was expecting.
Yeah. Which we talk about a lot, the
Yeah.
unexpected. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
And
that's one of my classes this next week. One of my free classes is navigating the unexpected.
yeah, and that's the thing that really helped me with your birth courses is I'm not very good with change and the unknown, and knowing that and having the knowledge of these different positions and
Yeah.
different things that I can do during labor really helped me feel more comfortable in making those decisions to change
Yeah.
what I wanted to do in the long run.
I
But
love that.
yeah, but then I pushed for about an hour and
It's amazing.
yeah, which I feel like she would have came out a lot faster if her arm wasn't up like this. So she came out with her arm up and dislocated her shoulder and her torso.
Yeah.
And
And
that
what have you done about that?
so we've been to the chiropractor.
I love it. That's what I wanted. That is one
Yes.
thing I wish I had done with my kids.
Yeah, and it has helped so much taking her to the chiropractic care. Before she wasn't sleeping very well, like 2, 3 weeks. We started taking her about 3 or 4 weeks old to the chiropractor. And just the difference in how she lays on the ground. She's already up crawling and sitting up and doing a whole bunch of other things that I never thought she would be doing at 5 months old. But I really think it's because she's gotten those adjustments and being able to be comfortable.
Yeah. I think I have 2 that had so many digestive issues, and I really think it would have helped. I
Yeah.
wish I had done that. So anybody listening, take your baby to a chiropractor, but they need to be Webster certified. They need to be perinatal specialists. They need to know how to work with babies. The thing that's so funny to me about the process, because we have a expert workshop on this, is that it doesn't even look like they're doing anything.
Oh no.
Am I really paying for that?
It literally just looks like she's like going like this. To
Tickle,
the
tickle.
yeah. I'm like, and this is actually doing stuff,
Yeah.
but I mean I can tell a difference
Yeah. That's
after.
what Ashley says too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, someone's saying, "I'm so glad that you've taken." Someone's asking when we go live. So right now we're going live every day. My team was like, "Why did you bite off so much? Can you actually do this?" I am going to, Ashley and Allison. Thank you. So tell us about your postpartum and how has being a part. You've kind of told us, but what do you think would be different if you didn't have our community and all of us for postpartum?
Oh, I feel like I would still have so much anxiety and I mean, I shared with like my thoughts and feelings of how my anxiety and depression kind of came up 3 months into postpartum, and I wasn't expecting that. Like,
Yeah.
I great the first 3 months, and it kind of hit me all of a sudden, and that's not something that I was expecting. And having the group encourage me to go talk to somebody, go to a doctor to see what kind of things I could do to help really kind of helped me push in that direction. And I don't think I would be anywhere near as good as I am right now or been able to go back to work at all in this position if I didn't have
How
it.
So how has your going back to work, like, how did you navigate that? And, like, do you have any advice to other moms who are like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go back to work?"
Oh, it was really hard. Luckily, I work for a practice that is very family oriented and we have a flexible schedule. So I was able to talk to my boss one on one and say, hey, look, I am really struggling and I don't know what to do about coming back to work.
Yeah.
Because my plan was to go back
Yeah.
than what I am. And I'm only going back 2 days a week right now.
Okay.
So I
Does
was
it feel like a burden or a blessing sometimes? Or
a
both?
bit of both.
Yeah.
A bit of both. Because when I'm there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really wish I were at home,
Yeah.
baby. And
And then when the baby's screaming and you can't get rest, you're like, "I wish I were at work." It's
yeah.
easier.
And I love what I do for work. And I see our pediatric cases at work. So like I love going in there working with kids and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like
Yeah.
I want to go in because I love what I do, but then I'm like, I really want to be at home with my baby.
You know what's so funny is doing the coaching where I coach like mostly people in an expert space like we are. And I was doing a video for that and I went back and found, gosh, it makes me almost want to tear up. I used to send videos to Grayson from work because we work long shifts as nurses. You know, do you do 12 hours?
Well, I am an audiologist, so
No,
I
I didn't know if you worked in a hospital or a clinic.
not in a hospital. I work
Okay.
in a private practice clinic,
Okay.
so
So
we have about 8-hour days, which
yeah, they're hard too, but 12
yeah,
hours, you leave
I
before they're
would
awake.
not be able to do that.
Yeah, you leave before they're awake and you come home after they're home. They're in bed. And so most of the time I would send a good morning video and a good night, like going to bed video because as a labor nurse, like I never know when I'll have a break. And
Mhm.
so I found a slew of those and I was just like, I am so thankful that I don't have to do that now. And like Grayson has started a homeschool tutorial, which is a little different for us, but I just love the freedom, like, and I love that you have the 2 days, like, but 2 12-hour days will kill you when you're away from your baby. Like, I remember
Mhm.
when Lainey was a baby and, like, there was a whole group of us that had babies at the same time. So we used to call our break room the breast room because we were always in there pumping, like, all the time. Okay, so
Mhm.
we're gonna wrap this up because we have hit 30 minutes. I could talk to you all day.
I know.
Um So what would you tell someone who's newly pregnant that's like, "I don't know, should I join the classes? Should I join the community?" What is your advice?
I mean, I'd say do it. I wish I came in earlier.
And she
Like
came in at 20 weeks, y'all.
yeah, I feel like those early that first trimester, that early pregnancy is hard, and like I mentioned earlier, it was emotional for me, and I
Yeah,
wish I would have had that support and that communication with other people that were going through the same thing, and
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I came in when I did, but if I could have came in earlier, I definitely would have.
Every one of my students say, "I wish I would have found you early." Like, the ones who take part in the community, I will say. I don't the ones who I never made, I don't know. But, what would you say to someone who's almost due? Do you think that you would say, "Nah, it's not really worth it," or what would you tell them?
I mean, I think your classes are definitely worth it no matter what stage of pregnancy you're in. You have time. I mean, Cameron and I spent a couple weeks going through the classes, but you could definitely do the classes in a couple days.
Well, you can actually do them in 6 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
like
love that.
if you needed to, you could do them really fast
Yep.
and be able to still gain that knowledge that you need, even if you are about to go into the delivery
Yeah.
room.
Well, Kayla joined us. Kayla Reed, she joined us the night before she had her induction.
Yeah,
She's still popping along in there. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. Give my sweet little girl a kissy.
I will. She's taking a nap right now,
I
so
had a feeling I could hear her last time. I'm glad we
yeah,
got our technical stuff figured out.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
thank you
me
so much
too.
for